I was about to hit new file. That's not what I need to do right now.
Oh, people are doing art fight. Oh, that's silly. I can't do art fight this time.
Oh. Your parents waved goodbye to the three of you as you backed up into the street. There was the sound of the front door closing behind you. I feel like that's not worded correctly, but okay. I need to check. Okay. Forgot who was voicing Kira for a minute
I also
there.
forgot who was voicing Kira.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive I saw some restaurants when I was in the taxi not too far from here.
Yeah, the tourist town, isn't it? There's a lot of them around.
It was kind of strange to see Cove give someone this much attitude. If he wasn't in the mood to be nice, he genuinely just kept to himself. Okay, so he's being sassy. He's being a bit of a bitch. Which is understandable.
Jeremy Sorry.
No, yeah, that's true. Kira put her hands on her hips and smiled at her son. Well, you sound like the area expert. Do you have any recommendations for a place nearby?
Not really.
Kira pouted at him a little and then turned to you instead. How about you, Charlie? Want to point me in the right direction?
We probably have a couple of favorites, yeah?
Probably. I mean, we live here, so.
You know.
You'd been to a lot of places in town, and there were a couple that stood out from all the rest. There's a Chinese restaurant that me and my mom. Fucking hell!
Okay.
Get the counter ready.
That's literally what I'm doing right now.
I need to. Oh. I can reply to that later. There's a Chinese restaurant that me and my family go to all the time. It's my mom's favorite. There's a tropical theme place that tries to be sort of fancy. Both sound like a treat. I'll leave it to you to pick for us since Cove is going through a phase over here. Okay. You have to turn his face away. I'm not a huge fan of, like, Chinese stuff.
I mean,
as you probably know by now, I'm a fan more of, like, Japanese shit because it's better, in my opinion.
Don't let any Chinese friends hear that. Honestly, I'm also not big on Chinese food. Mainly because a lot of the Chinese food that I've eaten, I've not liked.
Oh.
So let's go tropical theme.
Yep. Thank you, Charlie. Will you show us the way? I was gonna
show up in this group.
I was gonna say something there, and I'm not gonna fucking say that. Who?
You remember the one?
Right. Yeah. Sorry, my brain thought you said Maki.
Nope.
Two friends of mine are obsessed with Jujutsu Kaisen, and I am not into it, so I don't know nothing about that. So,
I am also not into Jujutsu Kaisen. I will probably get into it at some point, but
I
not right now.
probably will not. I don't feel like it's my type of thing.
That's fair.
You nodded, taking the lead of your little group as Cove and his mom followed behind you. Together, the three of you left the neighborhood behind. Okay, my voice is dying. The walk was about 15 minutes, and along the way, Kira asked a lot of questions about the area. Cove was quiet most of the time, so you ended up answering her instead. Kira explained that she lived in a large city, and she loved how peaceful and relaxing everything seemed in Sunset Bird. The restaurant was busy as usual, but luckily you were shown right to a small table. Kira lowered herself into the chair while Cove picked the one diagonal. I feel like I'm not saying that right, but whatever. Diagonal to her, not facing her or to her side. It was awkward. Let's see. To start, what would you all like to drink?
I'll get an orange soda.
Noted. Charlie?
Okay, are you a soda? Are you a soda fan, a coffee fan, a juice fan?
When I go out, I often and you'll probably notice this, especially like in the year that you come visit, and we're gonna go down to Sakura, because like I've mentioned multiple times, we're gonna get ices afterwards, and I'm pretty sure the water is free. So I'm gonna apply that logic, but what do you usually go for?
I typically go for. Okay, so I'm a little silly. I go for a Shirley Temple.
Is that what is that exactly?
So a Shirley Temple is Sprite. Okay. An original Shirley Temple is actually ginger ale and grenadine, which is like a pomegranate flavoring.
That sounds disgusting.
Now they actually make it with Sprite. They make it Sprite and grenadine. Which, honestly, very yummy. 10 out of 10, would recommend. So I'd say soda.
Okay. Soda. Which flavor?
Ginger
Woman!
being on there is silly. Lemon lime.
Yeah,
that's Sprite.
Yeah, lemon lime. Sure. Kira placed the order for your drinks, getting a black hot coffee for herself, and it didn't take long before they were brought to the table and set in front of you. You took a long sip of your drink as you looked around the restaurant. Your small group checked over the menus, deciding what to order. The last time you came here, the dish you ordered was amazing. You wanted to order something different this time. Kira and Cove didn't need any encouragement for this. They were totally focused on the information in front of them. Soon the meals too were ordered and the menus taken away. You glanced at the table service, waiting to figure out what to say. Cove sunk back further into his seat and avoided eye contact. He started to twiddle his thumbs while acting like all this was perfectly normal. My brain fucking buffered there. Okay. Jesus. His sour feelings today were unignorable. Instead of asking more open questions he'd brush off, Kira had mercy on her son, instead put her focus towards you. That's great. I don't really know this woman. She's putting all of her attention on us. And I'm pretty sure both of us are socially awkward.
Yeah. No, I just realized Kira, the sun is actually a tattoo, not a necklace. I thought it was a necklace for the longest time that just didn't have a string.
Yeah. Yeah, so both her and Cliff have tattoos.
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, no, you... Okay. No! No!
Oh boy,
the face!
The psycho eyes.
Why? I thought we were going to escape it, not trail it in with us. Woman! God!
We're not escaping anything, apparently.
No, we're not. We can't escape this conversation, and we can't escape the fucking psycho eyes.
Yep.
I wanna mention this now, before I get bashed for it in episode 1 or 2. All of these, like, all this shit that we're saying about the facial expressions, we're fucking joking. Like, don't take that fucking seriously. We're just fucking around.
We're fucking around having fun pointing out little details. Like, we're not actually criticizing the game.
Yeah.
We're just simply pointing out what we see.
Yeah, because I've been editing episode 1. I'm like, I need to point that out in the next fucking episode so I don't get bashed. So, Charlie, what's a few things that you're into? There's got to be something you do for fun, especially now that you're not buried in school assignments. Okay. Options. A lot of options. There's so fucking much. Okay! What the
Yeah!
No. God. We did mention the whole library thing, so this would technically be true.
Yeah. Ooh.
Can we pick all of them? I'm gonna say yes, we can. Okay.
Fiction, probably. Considering we liked mermaids growing up.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Nothing beats curling up with a good book. I would go for
manga. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard of that style before, but I'm sure it's very good. Remind me, nonfiction is like history and shit.
Nonfiction is like history, it's like science, stuff like that.
I always get nonfiction and fiction like mixed up. I don't know why. I feel like that's common.
So basically take fiction,
mm-hmm.
and fiction starts with F, so does fantasy. So fantasy
mm-hmm.
and non-fantasy. That's kind of how you can
that tracks.
differentiate the two.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it, at least.
That's a good tactic.
I would say probably choose non-fiction because we're really into like sea life and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because we know the names of the seashells.
Yep.
That were mentioned in episode 1. The only reason I'm remembering that right now is because I edited that part like a few days ago.
Yeah.
I'll bet you know about a lot of things then. Yes, I do. We do. Charlie knows a lot of shit.
And
we also know that your husband is a dick.
We also know that your husband bribes children.
Which, if anyone was to just join in, then that would sound so fucking bad.
Oh God, that would sound
God.
terrible. That would actually.
No. Jesus. That'd be so fucking bad. Holy shit.
It'd be kind of funny though.
Yeah, we'd have to explain ourselves, obviously.
Ooh, games.
Yes.
Video games.
Board games are not my thing. Card games are not my thing. But you get me to play Wahoo, I will fucking destroy your ass. I grew up on that shit.
Meanwhile, with me, I like some board games. I love video games. However, Bead. You want to play a damn card game? Bead or Uno. It's all over.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as friendship or family during an Uno game.
Yeah. But, yeah, you and I should play Wahoo when you come up here.
I do not know what that is, so you'll have to teach me.
I can either have Keegan explain it, which he's probably going to be better at that, or, yeah. Video games. I don't know much about them. Maybe you can show me sometime.
Okay, so we've gone away from Crazy Eyes for now.
Yeah, I don't like those eyes. I really don't. Like, obviously we're fucking joking, but, that reminds us of Ma. Because they're sort
Yeah.
of,
Sort of similar.
yeah. Except for
Yeah.
she's always, like, mainly glancing to the side, which it looks like she's looking at, Mom. So,
Yeah.
it's awkward. It's very awkward. I don't like the, please.
And
I hang out with people is very vague. But I want to mention, later on we do have like 2 friends or something that we hang out quite often with and text around Cove. I'm not sure if that's gonna change because we're not currently romancing him.
Yet.
Yeah. Also, while I was going through the thing, getting back to the stories, I figured out how he broke his arm.
How?
Jet ski, which that would explain the scar. I don't understand how you break your arm, cause he was vague about it. I hang out with people, but yeah, it shouldn't change. I think it's like a high point in the storyline, so it shouldn't. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Cause they haven't been mentioned yet. All that we know is Derek, and Cove, and Lizzie, and Shiloh, who needs to quit being a yes man.
Well, Shiloh ain't around anymore.
No, that's true. I'm unsure if we see him again. I think we do, but I can't be too sure.
Damn.
I think we do in like step 3, which
I see.
Are we in step 3 currently? No. We're still Okay. I'm getting mixed up because the episodes. I think so. I could be wrong. Hey, it's nice to have It's nice to have friends and family to spend time with.
Art.
Yep. Ooh.
Drawing.
I filled out a lot of sketchbooks.
Literally me. I'm about to fill out this sketchbook probably over this trip. Digitally?
Yeah. Speaking of like traditional art on paper, I used to be able to like look at an image and like draw it almost like correctly.
Damn.
The proportions were hella off in some of them, but most of them were actually good. I don't know where the fuck they are. I think I got rid of them. My computer at home doesn't really have all the programs I need.
Music? Question mark?
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. Okay, so I play guitar and I also play piano, and I also used to play the violin.
My mother can play guitar. Or at least
Ooh.
she has in the past. I'm not sure if she still does it.
That's cool.
But we have a guitar in the house.
I also listen to a lot of music, so.
I'm gonna say the guitar, I'm getting really good at it. You said piano? If I can find the fucking chord to the electric piano thing that we have, or I can like buy a chord for it, I am gonna try and learn so many things.
Real.
We don't have one at home, so I only get to practice when I go to lessons, though. I would say the drums, but like, not really, considering I never really got to do that.
We could say drums.
Yeah, I play the drums. I only get to practice at school and stuff, though. But yeah, do we want to do the violin?
Sure.
Yeah. It is a beautiful instrument. And then
I listen to a lot of it.
I have an MP3 player at home that my mom helped me put some music on, and I've seen some concerts. Awesome. I think that's it.
And yeah. Wouldn't it be silly if we were to actually say the I'm really into Cove answer?
I mean,
I think it would be really fucking silly.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I feel like we definitely get a reaction out of him with that.
Absolute. That would be silly.
Yeah.
Even just like saying it as a quote unquote joke.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, this. I'm going to click this because I have something in the works.
Oh.
I've had it for a really long time, and I'm
Okay.
rewriting it because the first version was shit. I don't think I'm actually gonna get it published, but I could. But yeah.
But no, go ahead.
A fellow writer.
Oh.
What do you write? Kira, what do you write? I need to know.
What you writing?
A fellow writer. Writing is a great form of expression, don't you think? Yeah. Kira sighed wistfully, her eyes going soft. Ma'am, are you okay?
Should we go for it? Should we say I'm really into Cove?
And then, you know what?
Let's say screw it. Let's be silly.
Yeah. We're good. Yeah. Kira let out a sudden laugh, and Cove gasped beside you. It was dramatic enough. It was a dramatic enough inhale that he almost choked on the soda. You shrugged at their reaction. It was a truthful answer to the question.
Charlie.
That's in italics. That doesn't happen often. Cove whispered at you disapprovingly, obscuring the part of his face with a hand. Wait. Okay. Obscuring part of his face with a hand. But Kira only waved him off and encouraged you to go on. We spend time together when we can. I like it. Well, we have something in common. Ma'am? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, that's not.
No.
Like, in the sense that, like.
Why? We can't escape it.
I hate to tell you this, ma'am. I don't think you're supposed to be into your son.
Holy shit!
Moving on.
I was not expecting that to come out of your mouth. I was expecting that like you shouldn't be attracted to Charlie that way. I'm like that. God fucking hell. That's the second time you've caught me off guard with comments.
Apologies.
No, I find it funny. Kira smiled at Cove, who didn't look too impressed by either of you at that moment. I think we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
And you didn't say anything else. Thanks, I'm happy to learn more about you. There's so much I haven't heard. Cove leaves the details out. Of course he does. Because he doesn't get to talk to you much, probably.
And probably just doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm. The psycho eyes are back. But I'm gonna ignore that.
Oh.
He was trying not to pay attention, but you could tell he was uncomfortable. Hoping it would clear some of the tension in the air, you decided to ask Kira a few questions of your own. Cove hadn't told you much about her, and you were curious to know more about this woman who had such a big part in his life. Did she really have that big of a part though? Considering he stays with Cliff. I don't know. What exactly do you do? I spoke way too quickly there. That's what that fuck up was. What exactly do you do for work? Oh, that explains the writing. I'm a travel writer for magazines and things. I keep people in the loop on what's worth seeing. It's good work. My brain is buffering so much today. I don't like it. Wow. Okay. Oh.
These are little personal.
We can't avoid them.
What do you like to do?
What do you like to do? Spend time with my little boy, of course, and traveling. A real shock, huh? Ma'am? From what I understand, they have co-custody.
Yeah.
But okay.
Like partial custody.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you live normally?
Okay, we can avoid.
Oh.
Do we want to avoid? I'm gonna avoid this fucking last two because I feel like that is.
Yeah. Where do you live normally?
That's not something we should ask when Cove is like right in front of us or some shit. So.
Yeah. Where do you live? Let's hope you didn't have to travel too far.
You're doing the voice again.
Yeah.
Dear God. Where do you live normally? Nevada. Have you ever been there? You shook your head. It's a beautiful place. Check it out if you can. And
you couldn't bring yourself to ask another question.
Yep. Nope. It didn't seem to bother her that the conversation dropped off. Cove sipped his soda angrily, slurping up the remaining drink with furrowed eyebrows. He looked ready to run straight out of the restaurant. You weren't sure if coming along had ended up making this lunch better or worse.
Let's just smile at him.
Yeah.
Let's not do anything too drastic.
Yeah, let's not. Okay, their eyes are the same now. Somewhat. Except for he looks more relaxed. And his eyebrows look normal for once.
It's because the hair is covering it.
Good! I'm keeping it that way, I swear to God. The entire game, I'm keeping it that way. Cove eventually noticed you watching him. It took a couple of moments, but finally he cracked a smile, and that made you feel a little lighter inside. You two seem really cute together. Cove covered his face with his hands and leaned back in his seat.
Mom, why would you say that? Laugh. Let's just laugh.
Awkward. You just laughed. That was definitely unexpected, and there weren't... Fuck. There was definitely... That was definitely unexpected, and there didn't seem to be any other way you could react. Your meals were delivered shortly after that, and everything was so delicious, even Cove enjoyed his food. Alright, now that we're all full and content, can you please explain why you've had a bug up your butt all day?
She's talking about why is Cove being such an ass.
Yeah, Sorry, I just, like, the sentence loaded in, and I immediately saw bug as a different word. Okay.
Huh? Oh.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Co's face scrunched at that. Okay. Seriously, baby. What did Mom do to make you this mad? I haven't even been around a full day yet. He gripped the edge of the table, refusing to make eye contact. The words he spoke were barely audible over the din of the restaurant. Over the din of the restaurant. What? Okay, I'm assuming that means noise or some shit, but okay.
You could have told me.
She leaned forward to not miss anything else. Eyebrows raised. Told you what? Finally seemed to find his voice and spoke the thoughts that had been on his mind.
That I wasn't gonna visit you this year. That you were gonna be coming instead.
I'm surprised. He's actually having somewhat of a filter now. No, I'm realizing. Because when he was younger, he would just speak his mind whenever he wanted, like how he did with Shiloh. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like just now noticing that, I guess. Didn't you invite me? You wanted me here with you. Cove's eyes began to shake and his frustration ebbed. Ebbed? Okay.
I do want you to be around, but I didn't know it'd be like this. It's not the same, and nobody said anything.
I see. Her expression grew tense. She threaded her fingers together and placed her hands in front of her on the table. Help, why is that a pose I do a lot? This episode is just calling me out. That's what, the third time?
Is that his full name? Is that his full name?
Ew. 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 No.
All I can think of is Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Okay, we've both been gifted another Clifford surprise. Referring to the Clifford surprise almost caught both you and Cove. Fuck! Referring to that as a Clifford surprise almost caught you both. What the fuck am I? God! Okay. How many?
Surprisingly, 10.
Damn, okay. Referring to that as a Clifford surprise almost caused both you and Cove to crack a smile. There we go, that sentence was hard today. You had no idea his name wasn't just Cliff. Over 5 years, nobody had ever called him Clifford until now. Jesus. Then again, we refer to him as Mr. Holden a lot more than we do Cliff.
Yeah.
She smoothed her hair out, not letting go of her stern look. The more things change,
the more they stay the same.
They let out identical sighs, but smiled weakly at one another afterwards. I can go home, Cove. We can still set up a normal trip to my place before the summer ends. Cove's lips... That was a weird tone of voice. Cove's lips tightly closed together. He seriously pondered the option.
I think I do want you to stay. I miss it when you're not there.
My heart! She reached across the gap, grabbing his face and planting a kiss on his cheek. Cove tried to wiggle away.
Mom, stop!
I'm sorry, sweet young men need to be smooched by their parents. If I don't, they'll take away my mom license. Kira was completely enthused by Cove's admission, though a tone of seriousness did return to her voice when the conversation continued. Do you want to talk to your dad, too?
No.
Cove had snapped the word instantly, but reeled his annoyance back in just as quickly.
Maybe later. Not today.
I understand. We can shelve it.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you for talking to me, What? Thank you for talking to me, little mister. Okay. I feel like that's not the right word to... I feel like that's not the right wording of that, but okay. She grinned affectionately at him before turning your way. And thank you, Charlie. Huh? What did I do? It's easy to act like a baby with your mom. It's harder to keep that up with your neighbor watching everything. Especially when you really care about what said neighbor thinks of you. She winked.
Mom!
You cut out a bit there.
Mom!
There we go. She just ruffled his hair with a laugh and then moved her hand down to tap the end of his nose. She booped him.
She booped him!
And that was how the issue was resolved, at least between Cove and his mom. When the three of you left the restaurant and Kira had paid the bill, you walked back to your neighborhood slowly. You hadn't eaten... God. You had eaten so much by that time you were beginning to feel sleepy. It didn't help that lunch had happened late and the sun was already beginning to descend from the sky. If it's getting dark, I feel like that would be dinner, but okay.
Yeah.
I say as I don't have a set schedule for whenever the hell I eat.
Hello, Cliff. What the hell happened to you?
I like the hair, but everything else is...
He looks better with his hair down than he does with his hair up, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he has such luscious locks. Damn, I wish my hair looked like that.
But eventually you reached your street. Someone was there to greet your group upon arrival.
Welcome back, family. And Charlie, too.
Cliff.
Oh. Dad?
Jesus. The two walked past him into the condo without sparing another word. Despite the summer heat, their shoulders were cold.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
He rubbed the back of his neck with a crooked smile, but his eyes were soft as he looked on after them.
He's so much like his mom, don't you think?
Yeah, it's like he acquired no attributes from you. Quite like fucking none. He's essentially a copy and paste of Kira, but a male version. Good God. You gave a vague nod, not sure what he was expecting you to do. He nodded back far more energetically. Yeah, no, okay. I feel like I didn't say that right, but whatever.
Okay, have a nice night, Charlie.
You too, Mr. Holden. With that, Cove's dad disappeared to join the others inside. It was your turn to go home now. Summer hadn't started off at all how you imagined it would have, though it turned out to set the tone well. Having Kira in the neighborhood was a new experience, not only for you and Cove, but also both your families, and a dull moment was rarely had.
Oh shit.
God, there's so much. I also realize, we still have 2 in the other one.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
Uh-huh.
I completely forgot about that.
I did as well. Hold on. Where did I put that save?
It was in 2.
Yep. Oh, enough 3 to do.
Should we just go through these 3?
I'm really interested in Runaway. But I mean,
I'm interested in Runaway and Sleepover. Those are the 2 I'm really interested in.
I mean, again, we can save this for next episode as well.
We could, but like, let's do Runaway and Sleepover and then save Barbecue for last.
Okay, how long have I been streaming? Just an hour. Okay. So this episode's probably going to be like 45 minutes, considering I'm going to have to cut out so much shit. That's fine, though. Yep. After a couple hours at the playground by yourself, it had gotten firmly into afternoon. You were on a swing set with your feet buried in the sand when you spotted Lizzie in the distance. I guess we're definitely in the past. I just needed to preface that.
Yeah.
She was rushing over like something was on her tail, chasing her. You knew she would be coming, but what? But was she that excited to get to the park? Instead of nabbing the swing next to yours, Lizzie stopped in front of you. She bent over, balancing her hands on her knees, and panted.
Did you hear?
Hear what? Lizzie bounced back up, her eyes blown wide. You only saw her this worked up when she found the new hiding place for Mom's sugar stash.
It's about Cove.
Oh? Cove? Lizzie rarely brought him up herself, and never with this much urgency. What was this about? You listened, confused as Lizzie explained.
I just came out when I saw lots of people gathered around, in the middle of the street.
Oh?
They were talking kind of quietly, so I don't think I was supposed to hear. But that just means it was important.
That is true.
So I snuck up, and I heard everything.
She paused dramatically. Clearly she wanted you to say something.
What did you hear?
What did you hear? Seeing that she had your attention, Lizzie continued.
Cove is missing. He left a piece of paper for Mr. Holden to tell him that he was going away and he would be gone for a long time, and no one's seen him since. Now they're searching the whole neighborhood. The grown-ups were even saying that if they don't find Cove soon, they'll call the police.
Yeah, that is true. A missing child report takes 24 hours. After that, you gotta call the police. The police? You had seen police officers around town now and then, but you had never talked to one before, much less dealt with them. It was an intimidating thought. Was Cove going to be arrested for running away? You watched as your sister began to pace in front of you.
I know Mom said Cove was sad about moving here, but running away from home is crazy. Where else is he gonna go anyway? I feel like either I don't know or I want to find him.
I want to find him.
Considering we are friends with Cove and we kind of, don't exactly want him to be in danger.
Yeah. How much you want to bet he's just behind the hills, potentially?
$5.
Yeah. Lizzie scrunched her face up, thinking deeply for a moment. Then she nodded and planted her hands on her hips, determined.
I'm gonna look too.
Oh!
You're just doing that to frickin'... Anyways.
The last thing I heard was freaking. I'm not sure if you said anything after that.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. You are?
Mm-hmm. We can play at the park any day. And the more people there are looking, the quicker someone will find him. Maybe I'll be the one who does. I'm the best at hide and seek, after all.
I knew you had ulterior motives.
Uh-huh.
It seemed like Lizzie wanted to look, wanted to It seemed Lizzie wanted to look not only because she was concerned about Cove, but it also had been the most interesting thing to happen this week. God, shit really doesn't happen in Sunset Bird, does it?
Wish me luck.
Before you could say anything, she ran off into the opposite direction from where she came. You were left in the dust in a matter of moments. That was your sister for you. But Lizzie's appearance in the crisis faded to the back of your mind just as quickly. Cove. He told his dad he was leaving to go somewhere by himself. It was surprising news at first, but that sounded like something he'd do when you considered it again. Unfortunately, you had no idea where he could have gone. You thought hard. There were the hills behind your house. He had gone there the first time you met. But someone would have checked there already. They wouldn't need the police. Cove must be far away or hiding somewhere if the whole neighborhood was looking for him. You swung back and forth, your lips pursed in contemplation. If I were Cove, where would I go? Lizzie had said Cove was crazy from running away from home, but he never considered Sunset Bird as home, did he? His real home was somewhere else. There was only one place that came to mind that might be important enough for Cove to go off like this. It was a good idea, except how would he get there? Could he take a bus? Was he gonna walk the whole way? You didn't know what direction he needed to take. But wait, there was only one way he could go. Going down the street just led to the beach, so that couldn't be right. Going to either side would mean he'd get stuck by buildings and fences and big slopes, like the one behind your house. That left going up the street, you knew the road. It led to the main part of town and kept going all the way to the city limits. Cove didn't know the area well, and you didn't think he'd go off that road onto some random other street, which meant if someone followed that path, they might find him somewhere along it. The grown-ups seemed to be all looking in the neighborhood, so...
Go find Cove himself.
Yep. You had to go find Cove yourself. There was no time to lose. You rushed to where you abandoned your flip-flops and slipped them on. They slapped against the sand as you left the playground. You went right up along the main street, keeping an eye out for Cove. No one else had the same idea as you, it seemed, because you were completely alone there. You passed through your whole neighborhood, then the next one over, and the next. You hurried down the sidewalk as fast as you could without running. You recalled Lizzie's comment about hide and seek. It really did feel like Cove was hiding from you somewhere, and you had to find him. You kept walking. You even called out for Cove a few times, but you didn't see that familiar mop of green hair anywhere. After a while, the sun began to dip out of the sky. It would be dark soon, and there was still no sign of your neighbor. You weren't even in the residential district at this point. You had reached the central part of town. We'll see this background later on, actually, I realize.
Damn.
The area was at once strange and familiar. You had been here before, of course, but never without your moms close by. They would drive you. Not even Lizzie was allowed to come home. What? Okay. Not even Lizzie was allowed to come here by herself. Would Cove have been determined enough to go even further? Cove? You shouted his name a few times, as you had done periodically this entire time, but there was nothing. Maybe he's not going this way. Was he somewhere else? Had someone found him already?
Keep going forward.
Yep. You kept
99% of gamblers
What?
Before they 99% of gamblers quit before they reach jackpot.
That's a random way to put that, but okay. You kept going forward. You were able to make it this far. You had to continue the search. With that in mind, you pushed yourself to walk a little faster. People said this was a really tiny town, but to you it felt absolutely gigantic. Eventually, the business part of town ended too. There was no sidewalk anymore, only a long expanse of road. You walked on the grass instead. Onward was the only option. Your journey stubbornly continued. Your feet hurt and you were tired. You were on your own, but somehow you had reached the very edge of Sunset Bird. That's what the sign told you. You had lived in Sunset Bird forever, and it was a very rare occasion that you got to see this sign. Most everything in your life happened inside the city limits. The endless road ahead seemed scary in a way. It paralyzed you and finally put an end to your forward momentum. You scanned your surroundings instead of dwelling on that. You deeply hoped he hadn't gotten past that sign either. Hey, Cove, where are you? The previous times you called his name, there had been no answer. You couldn't be that surprised that one didn't come this time either, until...
Charlie?
A dark blob just behind one of the signs, A dark blob just behind one of the exit signs' legs shifted. You squinted as it continued to move. The more you stared, the more your eyes adjusted, the more that dark blob resembled a person. Then you realized just who it was. It was Cove. He was here. You actually found him. He hesitantly got up from where he was standing, as if to make sure he had actually heard something. Then he caught sight of you, his eyes wide behind his glasses. A lot of options.
Either there you are, or are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Cove finally blinked as you ran up to him, your feet still aching.
How did you find me?
Lizzie told me you wrote in your letter that you were leaving. You've always wanted to go back home, so I thought you must have come this way.
Oh.
And that was all he said. After all this, maybe he didn't realize how seriously the adults were taking it.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
He didn't look okay. His brows were pinched and his shoulders tense. You got the feeling pointing that out wouldn't help matters. Everyone's looking for you. That caught his attention. He frowned at you.
They are?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood. Lizzie told me they might even call the police. You might even get arrested.
What? Why?
I don't know, because you tried to run away, probably.
I'm not gonna be arrested.
Although Cove said that, he looked a little worried over the news. Come on, Cove. Let's go home.
No. No. Oh. I see how it
is.
Rapunzel knows best. Or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. He spoke crossly. You were thirsty and exhausted, and you weren't sure if you could keep going back and forth about this.
Why not?
Why not? Your shout caused him to flinch, but not enough to budge. At first, Cove was quiet. You started to think he wouldn't say anything. Then he spoke.
My mom called today to check up on me and stuff. She asked what Sunset Bird was like and how I was doing. It was okay, but when I asked if she'll come here, Mom said she couldn't. I can't go back either, not right now. She has to move to somewhere else first.
seat in more. There we go. Cove glared at the ground. His voice cracked as he continued.
Why can't I even see her anymore?
He used his uncasted arm to rub both his eyes.
I'm gonna go myself. I don't need anyone to take me. Do you know the directions to your old house?
He just wanted to see his mom. Maybe you would have had the idea to run away too if you were Cove, but that doesn't mean it'll work.
She's not there. They both left it. She's staying with somebody else. Or she's staying with somebody until she moves somewhere else.
Where's her friend's house? Cove was silent for a moment. You had poked a hole in his perfect plan. Then he shook his head like he was trying to clear it. When he spoke some more, it was mostly to himself.
If I don't go see Mom, then she's...
Fresh tears glistened in Cove's red-rimmed eyes. He stubbornly tried to blink them away, but they slipped down his cheeks. Yeah? Wait, did I read? Yes. Okay.
Mom doesn't call that much, and I haven't seen her in so long.
Cove hiccuped, wiping his face with the back of his arm. His glasses got shoved up awkwardly as a result.
If I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me.
She wouldn't do that.
How do you know?
She's your mom. She loves you. Your mom's always said that, so it must be true for Cove's mom too. Cove sniffled. He seemed conflicted.
I'm not sure if that's right.
You were at a standstill.
We can't stay out here forever.
We can't stay out here forever, and we can't go out there. We gotta go back. Cove's brows furrowed, a skull appearing on his lips. He turned away from you. You stared at his back, and you stared at his back. You couldn't just stop. Come on, Cove. After a few minutes of sullen silence, Cove twisted back around. He wouldn't look you in the eye.
Okay, let's go.
He must have known deep down that he couldn't go further than this, even if he wasn't happy about it. And that was that. Together you walked away from the exit sign. Your feet hurt a lot by this point, and you were so tired, but you'd convinced him. You were bringing Cove home, and that's all that mattered. On the long walk back, it was only thanks to the occasional street lamp and the faint moonlight that you could see in the dark night. You wondered if everyone was still looking for Cove, and you too, probably. Do you think they called the police after all?
No. Probably not.
He didn't sound confident, though. You still hoped he was right. You didn't want to go to jail. You weren't sure how much time had passed. All you knew was that one moment you were fighting the drooping of your eyelids while shuffling near Cove on the sidewalk, and the next, you were snapped back to attention by the blaring beep of a horn. Cove froze. You whipped around to see a car approaching you. It was difficult to make out who it was. The headlights were so blinding. Instead of continuing down the road, the car slowed down near where you sat. The window rolled down, revealing a face behind the wheel. It was very familiar. Mom! She shouted back, and not just because there was some distance between you and her.
Uh-oh.
Where have you kids been? I've been looking everywhere for you. The town exit sign. She blinked. What? You know what? Never mind. She stopped looking at you, instead staring hard straight ahead. Both her hands were gripping the wheel, not glipping. Jesus. Guilt ate you up from the inside. Get in. Let's get you two home. That at least made her showing up worth it. Your feet were aching like crazy from all the walking you'd done today. You yanked open the side door, slipping inside the back seat, then clambered over so Cove had enough room to climb in too. He followed you in wordlessly, tucking his backpack near his feet. Your mom looked at you and Cove in the rearview mirror. The two of you had us extremely worried. That wasn't a good thing to do. Not at all. Shamefaced, you both nodded as one.
Sorry, Mrs. Lark.
Sorry, Mom. She softened immediately, not enough to actually let it go, though. You'll have to apologize to everyone else, too. With that, Mom started the car up again, and you were off. For the rest of the car ride, no one said anything. No one said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off at some point because you woke up to the sound of the engine stopping. You yawned and got out of the car. Cove came out after, putting his backpack on again. Mom locked the car door and motioned you two towards the house. She opened the front door and let you go in first. Mama appeared quickly. She must have been waiting nearby. There was a phone in her hand. It worried you, thinking about who she might have been talking to. The tight line of her shoulders relaxed when she saw you and Cove.
Thank goodness you found both of them.
Yes, I did. They were walking down the main street together.
What were you two doing there this time of night? Do you have any idea how far that is? How unsafe?
You peeked at Cove. He still looked exhausted. His eyes were puffy, and there were dried tear tracks stuck to his cheeks.
I wanted to see my mom. Charlie came to get me.
Your own mom showed a look. You weren't sure what it meant, but they always did that. You wondered if they could read each other's minds. Since they were communicating telepathically, you stole a glance around the house. Lizzie wasn't anywhere in sight. Could she be outside somewhere, searching for Cove still? Where's Lizzie?
Your sister's in her room, fast asleep. The same way you should have been. She came back earlier. She had been out looking for Cove after accidentally finding out he was missing. She tried to pretend otherwise, but she was worried.
Said she checked all the hiding places she could think of, but she couldn't find Cove. You and Cove exchanged remorseful glances at that. Mama noticed the discomfort.
You two must be sleepy. You can sit down wherever you like.
Mama smiled warmly and motioned to the living room. Cove looked up at her, then lumbered over. You followed close behind. The living room wasn't far or separated by a wall, so you heard your mom's talking softly. He wanted to go see his mother?
Poor thing.
That explains it, at least. Still, I'm not sure it excuses it. It was so dangerous to go off into town like that.
He's having a hard time right now. You can't expect a child to handle it maturely.
True, it can't be helped. But that's enough of that. We should tell Cliff and the others he's here before the panic gets out of hand. There could be riots.
I'll call, then go to the front to tell everyone still out there. You keep an eye on the kids. Make sure they don't take any more trips today.
Got it, hun. Cove just sat there on the couch, setting his backpack down beside him. He stared at his hands.
I'm sorry, Charlie.
You faced him quietly.
I didn't want to make you feel bad. I don't want to fight. And you won't do it again?
And you won't do it again?
I won't. Not for real.
Fine. It's okay. Having him apologize did make you feel better. He looked relieved at the two of you were going to be able to get past this. You had more to say to Cove and to ask him, but before you could, the front door opened. Your mom was back with Mr. Holden close behind her. He made a beeline for the couch, his gaze trained on his son.
Cove! God, are you alright?
Strands of his hair had fallen out of his ponytail. His eyes were darkened like he'd been crying too. Cove stared up at his dad, his own eyes wide behind the frames of his glasses. He really hadn't expected it to be such a big deal.
I'm okay. Good. That's good. I'm so glad to hear that. He looks so sad.
Oh.
He looks relieved.
Yeah. He clasped a hand on his son's shoulder, attempting a smile, but the corners of his lips twitched and spasmed as if they wanted to wilt into a frown instead. Cove seemed to have that effect on him. Mr. Holden turned to you, still smiling weakly.
I'm so happy you're all right too, Charlie.
Then he looked at your moms.
Thanks for your help, as always.
He laughed pitifully.
And I'm very sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough. It was no trouble, Cliff. Really, it couldn't be helped, in a way. The thing was bound to happen sometime. Besides, he wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today.
Exactly. We're just happy the kids are safe and sound. Not for the first time that day, you recalled your original meeting with Cove. He had run away then, too, not as far as he had today. Cove must have had a similar thought, because he mumbled an apology.
Sorry, Dad. I won't leave anymore. Promise.
Some life seemed to return to Mr. Holden thanks to his promise. This time around, his smile was more genuine.
That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk about it. I'm here for you.
Cove nodded. His dad reached out and mussed his hair playfully. Though he made a face, Cove didn't try to dodge the hand as he usually did.
Let's go home, bud. I bet you're as tired as I am.
Mr. Holden took over carrying Cove's backpack, still clasping a free hand on his son's shoulder when he stood up from the couch. The five of you walked over to the front door so you could see them off. Mr. Holden thanked your moms profusely at least 3 more times before walking at the door. Cove was made to follow. But he stopped and turned to you before stepping through the threshold.
Threshold. There you go.
God.
Thanks, Charlie.
Good thing I was Good thing I was there. A tiny smile flitted across his lips, there and then gone. And with that, Cove left. Mama closed the door behind them. You were practically dead on your feet at that point. Your fatigue must have been obvious because your mom sent you right to bed with no more discussion on on what happened that day. Once your head hit the pillow, your eyes slipped closed on their own. Your eyelids were so heavy you couldn't open them again until the next morning. You woke up much more at ease than you had felt when you were last conscious. It was almost like it was a dream. But it definitely wasn't. Your mom's faces when you saw them assured that. After breakfast, you were sat down, and your family went over yesterday's events in full. They were none too pleased that you went out to find Cove on your own. As punishment, your moms took away your TV privileges for the next few days. Lizzie was annoyed that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Whether you expressed disappointment, your moms reminded you that they weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go out on your own so late and without telling anyone. You could have gotten hurt, or worse. As upset as you were, you understood. Mr. Holden talked to Cove about what happened, too. You didn't know what he had said exactly, but Mr. Holden forgave Cove immediately. He didn't do anything to punish Cove for running away. He blamed no one but himself for Cove's desire to leave home. You caught your moms discussing it once in hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty obvious. There was a word used that you hadn't heard before. Self-flagellation? What?
Flagellation.
Flagellation.
I think.
Yeah, probably. But there wasn't anything they could do to change Mr. Holden's mind. Your neighbors stopped you and Cove often for the next week or so to express their concerns and disapproval of the event. Still, as they always did, days continued to pass, so did talk about Cove running away. Things eventually returned to normal, as they had to. Summer kept going, and you kept having experiences you shared with Cove.
Sleepover time.
Do we have time to do it?
We do have time for sleepover, but that's it.
Okay. Alright, kids, we're done with dinner. We're done with dinner. Come to the table. Your stomach grumbled right on time, as if it had heard your mom's words. You halted your game and looked over. Mom was almost done setting the table. She was currently walking around the mahogany wood in the process of putting down cutlery. Mama was still in the kitchen, humming under her breath as she turned off the stove and put empty pots in the sink to wash. From beside you, Lizzie stirred, uncrossing her legs and standing up. She stretched her arms above her head.
Finally, I'm ready to eat.
And then cast a sly glance in your direction. You recognized that look.
Last one to the table is a rotten egg.
I haven't, but it was too late. Lizzie had already bolted towards the kitchen.
Throw a cushion.
You threw a cushion at her. Grabbing one of the cushions from the sofa, you launched it towards her. It hit her in the back of the legs, but it was too soft to do any real consequence, and she merely brushed the attack off with a scowl. It was a short distance to the kitchen table. Lizzie managed to get there easily enough, slapping a hand over the wood. Mom moved just before Lizzie could bump into her. With an exasperated sigh, she resumed her work.
I win again. Don't bother.
You didn't
worth it.
No, it's not. You didn't bother trying to talk to her about that.
I won. That means you're the rotten egg.
Lizzie grinned, her hands on her hips, and then looked over your shoulder. Oh, hello.
Cove, you think so too, right?
You blinked. You'd almost forgotten about him. The fact that Cove preferred to keep to himself didn't help matters either. You spotted Cove still on the floor. His legs were crossed beneath him, the arm with the cast resting in his lap. He looked over at the two of you with a slight frown. It felt sort of strange to see him still here so late. Tonight, Cove had come over to your house for a sleepover. Your moms and his dad had planned it a few days ago.
Top one, probably.
You weren't surprised. You'd overheard your moms discussing it before. You'd rather have your room to yourself, but you were resigned to your fate. There wasn't anything you could do. Cove pursed his lips at Lizzie's question, but he didn't respond. Maybe he was planning on ignoring her, not that Lizzie would make it easy.
Well, did I win or what?
Cove still didn't respond. He turned away, refusing to weigh in. Lizzie glowered, but it had no effect.
Fine. You don't have to say so. Oh. You can both be rotten eggs.
That's enough. Nobody here is a loser or a rotten egg. You're each farm fresh. Okay, woman. Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Now, listen to Mom and come sit at the table for dinner, all three of you. I'm surprised Shiloh isn't there. You and Lizzie obeyed, sitting across from each other at the edge of the table. Lizzie blew a raspberry at you when Mom turned her back. Two can play that game. You stuck your tongue out right back. When Mama pointedly cleared her throat, the two of you stopped. Your parents brought the last of the food, and they took seats further down the table instead of sitting right next to you and Lizzie. Only Cove was left out. He had stood up from his spot on the floor, but he hadn't made a move towards the kitchen. Cove, you can sit too. Slowly he eyed the 4 seats that were left. Thanks to the new seating arrangement your parents chose, one free chair was beside you, another next to Lizzie, and the last two were on the other side of where your moms were sitting.
See, considering we're trying to romance him.
Mm-hmm.
But we are still children in this, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean... Let's go for it. Let's go for top.
Okay.
Let's be silly.
Sit next to me. He hung his head and scuttled past you, Lizzie, and your moms. He went to the chair on the opposite edge of the table and sat down. It seemed being far away is what he wanted. Your moms frowned. You shrugged it off and turned back to your plate. Now that everyone was situated, Mama began to pass out the plates.
Again, kids, I cooked a little bit of everything for dinner tonight.
Be sure not to avoid all the veggies.
Yes, Mom.
Each person at the table served themselves, except for one. Cove hesitated again. He fidgeted with his hands, clamped on top of his knees. He didn't seem very comfortable doing stuff in someone else's house. One dish seemed to have his eye, at least. What the fuck?
Huh.
I don't even want to know. That's pineapple chicken. Want to try something? It sounds fucking disgusting.
Not really. Sorry.
By then, your moms had noted that Cove still had nothing on his plate as well.
Do you not like any of the food, honey?
Maybe he hasn't tried Hawaiian food before.
He hasn't? Wow. Please don't talk with your mouth full, Lizzie.
Lizzie swallowed the bite she was eating, then she spoke again.
You should try it now.
She turned to Cove dramatically.
Unless you want to shrink. That's what happens if you miss a meal.
Elizabeth, that's not true. You know that. Cove squirmed under all the attention. He fidgeted with a fork between his fingers.
I've had some things, just not any of this. Oh, shoot. I knew I should have asked your dad what your favorite foods were.
It's alright, Lonnie. Maybe he'll find a new favorite today. You weren't so sure about that. Cove didn't look like he was going to be trying the food anytime soon.
Let's have him try something new. Give me a plate, boy.
Give me your plate. Cove was a little confused by your request, but he handed it to you anyway. He was ready for this to be resolved. You took the plate from him and piled only the best foods on it. He watched you work intently, his good hand shoved underneath his leg. When you were satisfied with the amount on his plate, you returned it. You should like some of these.
Okay, thanks. That was very kind of you, Charlie.
You puffed your chest out at the praise. At first, Cove poked at the food. Clearly, he was apprehensive to eat something new, but he took a few exploratory bites.
It's good, huh? Isn't it? You don't have to keep asking.
He still speared more meat with his fork and ate it, chewing thoughtfully.
It's not bad.
Alma grinned at his words, satisfied even though it wasn't exactly a glowing combination. Lizzie wasn't as mollified.
You're so weird. Don't be mean to your friend. We're not friends. Oh.
Mama floundered at the face in the face of Cove's blunt honesty. It seems strange your mama was taken aback by the news. When had they gotten along? And you didn't consider yourself to be friends with him either. You had gotten used to seeing him around a lot over the summer, but the two of you hadn't struck anything that could count as friendship. Your mama looked at Mom and only got a shrug. Elizabeth, don't call someone weird. There's no such thing as weird. There's no such thing as a weird person and a non-weird person. There's just different perspectives.
It's not a nice thing to say to anyone, but Pam.
Mama tried to whisper exclusively to Mom. Her attempt to make it audible over the sounds of clanking silverware meant you caught the quiet words anyway.
They're not friends. He said so.
As parents, we can only try, and sometimes we fail. Not all kids will be thick as thieves. Now less talking and more eating. Kids, you need to clean up and start winding down for bed soon.
But Mom...
No buts, we've talked about this. Your bedtime will be moved back in a few years. For now, you don't get to stay up late. Lizzie sulked, muttering under her breath about how it wasn't right.
I'd stay quiet.
Yeah. You stayed quiet and finished your meal. It was good food, and you were pretty content to just keep eating. That's the idea. Good job, Charlie. Everyone else get to it. The rest of dinner passed by uneventfully. Cove was still silent. Cove was silent for most of it, even when your moms attempted to include him in conversation. All too soon, the table was cleared, the games in the living room were put away, and you were all steered to your bedrooms. Mom finished tucking you in and kissed your brow, just as Mama poked her head in the room.
All ready for lights off, you two?
You were lying comfortably in your bed, the blanket hiked up under your armpits. You could kick it off later if it got too hot. Mom had set the sleeping bag on the floor for Cove, just beside your bed. He was already wiggled inside. Mm-hmm, we are. Perfect. I'll go say goodnight to Lizzie then. Mom tweaked your nose, chuckling when you squawked in annoyance, and left. Mama took her place, sitting on the edge of your bed.
Sweet dreams, sweetie.
She pressed a soft kid? Okay. She pressed a soft kiss to your forehead. You giggled as strands of her hair fell forward and tickled you. Mama smiled down affectionately at you, then moved her attention to Cove, who watched from his spot on the floor.
Do you need anything before falling asleep, honey? What does your dad do? Sometimes he picks me up and lifts me really high, and he shakes his hands like he's gonna let go, but he catches me again. He keeps doing that until sometimes he does drop me on my bed, or other times he lowers me down other times he lowers me down and we pretend like I'm crashing.
Cove had become pretty excited when talking about the nightly ritual he and his dad shared. He seemed to realize how animated he was and bashfully quieted.
I don't want to do that here. Oh, how fun! Though, I think you're right that it might not be a good idea to do that tonight. The sleeping bag might not be a soft enough landing. If there's anything else, you can always ask me or Charlie's other mom. But I'm the nicer one. Just don't tell her that.
Damn. She laughed good-naturedly and stood up.
Sleep well, Cove. Night.
Leaning against the door... The what?
Hold on, I need to look that word up. Is that a real word?
No way.
Door jam. It's a real fucking word!
What the fuck? What does it mean?
Each of the two upright parts of a door frame, on one of which the door is hung.
Near the hinges or what?
No, either side.
Oh.
The side with the hinges or the side without the hinges?
That's confusing. I don't like that. Either way. Leaning against the door jammed. She rested a hand on the light switch and looked at you.
Good night. Sleep tight.
If you said it, it didn't catch.
This is Charlie.
Oh! God! Fucking hell. Okay, Jesus Christ. Don't let the God! Don't let the bed bugs bite. Okay, fucking hell. Christ. With a last smile, Mama turned off the lights and stepped out, closing the bedroom door behind her. You listened to her footsteps as she walked down the hallway. You closed your eyes and snuggled in, preparing to drift off. You started when Cove sighed deeply. You turned your head to look in his direction. In the dark, you could see a faint outline of a lump under the covers. Cove?
Damn, the bluntness of just stop that.
I think the top one.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
I can't sleep.
Why not? He shifted, or at least you thought he did. You couldn't see anything since your eyes were still adjusting to the dark, but you heard his sleeping bag rustle.
I want to be in my bed.
Oh. Cove sat up. Your eyes had gotten used to the low light level, so you could see him better. He got out of the sleeping bag and wobbled towards your side table and pulled open the top drawer. What is it?
I'm getting my glasses.
You sat up too, watching as he reached inside. He paused for a second, then pulled his hand out. Instead of his glasses, though, he was holding a book. Cove turned it around in his hands, trying to figure out the proper orientation for it. Hold up. Bug. I don't think I got it, though. You knew even without reading the title which one it was. It was the one your moms would read to you. It was special.
I thought you were looking for your glasses.
I thought you were looking for your glasses.
I was. Then I felt this. It looks cool.
The compliment he offered your special book had you grinning, your confusion forgotten. It is really cool.
Oh yeah? What's it about?
It's a story about a squire who wants to become a knight, and there's magic.
Does it have mermaids?
No, but...
I say third to last. Or second to last, sorry.
Mama reads it to me. She uses different voices for every character. Some of them are really silly too. There's lots of characters and they all have good lines, so it's fun. Usually Cove sported a disinterested expression on his face or a sad one. You could probably count the number of times you'd seen him smile on one hand. Right now, though, he looked excited as he flipped the book over and focused on the backside to try learning more. You were reminded of the hours you'd spent hearing the tales. No matter how many times you read it or had it read to you, you were still entertained by the story and pictures inside. You glanced out the window. The moon was high in the sky.
I mean, it would make for better if we read the book, but at the same time, do we really want to get in trouble with our moms? Basically, the answer is, do we choose life or death?
Death. You know what? Fuck it. I say death.
Okay.
You wanted to read the book with Cove. You climbed out of bed and padded over to your side table. You opened it and rummaged around, pushing aside stuffed toys and crayons. Cove called out to you in a confused whisper.
What are you doing?
You didn't respond, letting the suspense build instead. You let a quiet cry of victory when you found what you were looking for. You jumped back onto the bed before any hidden boogeyman could catch you unaware. Cove continued to watch as you wiggled your way beneath the blanket you discarded earlier. You pulled it up over your head.
What's...
Shh. Get under here already. Bring the book too. After a minute, the bed dipped as Cove got on it and the blanket shifted. You fiddled with the flashlight in your grip, feeling for the switch. God, okay. With a click, With a click, the small space flooded with a bright light. Cove sputtered, putting a hand up to shield himself from the beam.
Move it somewhere else.
Oops. You tilted the flashlight so that it shone directly on his face, giggling.
Hey!
You shifted again, making it shine down. You adopted an innocent expression when Cove scowled at you. Now we can read, and my mamas won't know.
Considering we have a flashlight...
Yeah. I do this all the time. I'd always pretend to sleep when Mom or Mama check on me, and I've never been caught. It's fun. Do you want to try?
I'm betting you like $10 that they totally have caught her. They just said nothing about it.
Yeah, more than likely. Cove nodded, pleased by his straightforward response. You placed the book between you and flipped it open to the first page. Meanwhile, he laid down on his belly and shuffled closer, picking up the flashlight to shine it on the pages. His face was illuminated with a warm glow. You mirrored his position, leaning in so you could see the book better. Your foreheads nearly brushed until you shuffled back a comfortable distance.
Let's narrate the story. Let's be silly.
You wanted the story to be narrated. You loved it when Mama read it to you. Why not read as loud as you dared this time of night? Oh, God. You didn't even need to study the page for long. There was once a squire who dreamed of knighthood. All they wanted was to do good. Cove was taken aback when you began to recite the words by heart. You even pronounced knighthood properly, a word which hadn't given you grief in the past. His reaction encouraged you to keep going. Soon you got to an exciting part, the squire and the dragon's first meeting. The squire walked up to the fearsome dragon, their borrowed sword in hand and a torch in the other. Her red scales danced in the light like flickering flames. Could you say the dragon's lines? Do you need to get your glasses?
No, my head hurts if I don't wear my glasses for a while. I can kind of see things alright, but I don't know any voices.
Okay, so you have shitty eyesight just like I do. Great. That's okay, it's fun anyway. You hoped he would agree, but Cove vehemently shook his head, looked like it was just up to you. You continued the dramatic reading, reciting the lines for all the characters. Next time you looked up from the page, your eyes landed right on Cove. His eyes were following the text, a soft smile lighting up his features. A lock of his hair fell into his field of vision, but he gave it no notice. He was lost in the story. Your eyelids started to droop. When your eyes opened again, your bedroom was pitch black and silent. Your head was smushed in your pillow, your pajamas were sticking to you, and your mouth was dry. Slowly you raised yourself onto your elbows. You yawned, the back of your throat twinging as you did so. You rolled onto your side to sit up in bed, planning to get water from the kitchen, when you saw a dark shape towering above you. What the fuck, dude?
Oh?
You froze, then you remembered you weren't alone in your room tonight. Cove? That you?
Yeah.
Why the fuck were you standing over us? That's fucking creepy.
Who knows?
Good gods. You shifted and felt something cylindrical press against your thigh. You fumbled for it. The familiar weight of the flashlight pressed into your palm. You turned it on. Cove blinked at you, looking exhausted. He was in his normal clothes again, shoes and everything. His pajama pants were left on the floor, abandoned. His sleeping bag was in a similar state. What is it?
Can't sleep. I keep waking up.
Did you have a bad dream? He shook his head from side to side.
No, just can't sleep. It's weird here.
You frowned. You'd helped your moms redecorate it only a few months back. I like my room.
It's weird to me. I want to sleep in my bed. I'm gonna go.
What? That shook off the last of your doziness. He was going to walk outside, back to his own house, this time of night, all by himself. He noted your shocked expression and looked at you with resolve.
My dad will let me in, and I've gone outside late before, and I have to go. I should tell my moms.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I should tell my moms.
No, I don't want you to. I'll just leave. My dad can call them in the morning.
You knew that you could just let him go, but something inside you was saying that wouldn't be the right thing to do. It's too late for you to go outside on your own. It'd be bad. Cove grumbled quietly, though stayed put.
Okay, you can tell them. I'll wait.
Good. When you crept into the room, Mom was still up reading in bed while Mama had already fallen asleep. When Mom woke Mama up, they were both surprised to hear that Cove wanted to leave, and the two of them followed you back to your room to see him.
That looks comfy.
Yeah.
Sorry. That looks comfy as shit.
I think I used to have one of those things. I don't know where the hell it is now.
My ex used to have one, and I stole it for like 5 minutes before they came back into the room. I want one of my own. Cove, are you alright, sweetie? Is there anything we can do to help?
Mama sounded tired after having just woken up, but she smiled at Cove kindly. Cove shook his head firmly, not meeting anyone's eyes as he did so.
I just want to go home.
We're sorry you don't feel comfortable staying. How about you come downstairs with us and we'll call your dad to get you? Cove headed past your mom's and out of the room. Mom turned to you before leaving. Alright, off to sleep, kiddo. We'll make sure that Cove is taken care of. Good night again.
Good night, Charlie.
You listened to the sounds of their footsteps on the stairs as you huddled back down in bed, pulling your blanket up over your shoulders. It didn't bother you that Cove had left. At least you didn't have to worry if he would snore and keep you awake at night. Eventually, your eyes started getting heavy, and with a loud yawn, you finally got comfortable in your bed and drifted off to sleep. The next morning, you were woken by the sound of Mom's voice and a soft shake on your shoulder. Charlie, wake up. It's time to get up and at 'em. The sun was peeking through your curtains, and you rubbed your eyes as they adjusted to the new light. Mom sat down on the bed next to you. You blinked at her for a moment, confused, until you caught the empty sleeping bag on the ground and remembered what had happened during the night. Mr. Holden came over to pick Cove up and take him home. You should have seen his hair when he turned up, half asleep. It was even messier than Mama's in the morning. You chuckled at the thought, so you could tell she was trying to make you feel better about the whole situation, so you smiled back at her. Thank you for letting us know that Cove wasn't feeling good, Charlie. That was a nice thing to do. You nodded in agreement, and Mom went on to say that maybe once Cove started to feel more comfortable that he could try and sleep over again sometime. You shrugged the idea off, not particularly caring if that happened anytime soon or not. You could have told your parents that they shouldn't have tried to do this in the first place. Of course, it didn't end well. The next time you saw Cove and Mr. Holden, they both apologized for Cove having left so suddenly. You assured them it was okay. In the end, the two of you and your parents were eventually able to move past the ill-fated sleepover. It had all been a learning experience, according to the adults. You could accept that. There were definitely things you learned from it.
Okay. I gotta skedaddle.
Yeah, you're good. Alright, And if things go according to plan, we'll be back next Sunday.
Yay!
Hopefully.
Yippee, 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 yippee. And then the Sunday after that, I will be home.
Yep.
Yippee, yippee.
Which you know what that means, and I'm so excited for that.
Grins.
I will not elaborate further on this, chat. But either way. Oh, almost 3 hours. Okay, that's not that bad. Probably.
Yippee, let's go.
Probably gonna edit a lot of this out, and that's actually gonna be easy to do, thankfully. So.
Yay!
Yep. But anyway, next Sunday.
Bye, stream.
So.
Bye, chat.
Bye bye.